Right, I'm just going to be explaining how for loops work and what they are, and that they look like this: for, and then a variable, and then some semicolons, uh, and then a code block. That's what a for loop looks like. And the idea is it's kind of like a counter. It will repeat the same piece of code over and over, but increasing or decreasing a variable, like just counting up. So so if I do this, right? So we create. So you say for, and then what you do is you create a variable. I'm just created an integer called I, and you set it to what it's going to be at the beginning. So in this case 0. Then what it's going to do is it's going to do this piece of code. So I system.out.println the number is, and then say I. So now what it's going to do is it's going to create an integer called I. It's going to set it to 0, and then it's going to do this bit of code between these two brackets. So what it's going to do is it's going to say the number is, and then it's going to do 0. Then what it's going to do after it's done the code, it does this, which is increase I. So you can say that, or you can say plus equals 1, and it doesn't have to be 1. It can be, or it can be I plus 10 or something like that, you know. But we just want to count it up by 1. So what it's going to do is it's going to increase I, and then it's going to do the code again, and then increase I and do the code again, and it's just going to keep increasing I and doing this same bit of code until this is false. So when it starts off, I is 0 and I is less than 10. So what it's going to do is it's going to keep doing this code, but then as soon as it increases I and it suddenly equals 10, it's going to say, is 10 less than 10? No, it's not. And therefore it's going to just ignore this and continue to here. So it's then going to do this. Done. Okay. So what this does is it starts off the for loop, and what it does is it creates an integer called I, sets it to 0, and then it's going to do the bit of code and then increase I, and then it's going to keep doing it until I is not less than 10. And this can be anything, 100, which means it will loop 100 times, just things like that. So yeah, we're going to go 10. So let's run it, and here we are. It's looped through 10 times, increasing I each time and saying this message. So here we are. Here's it saying the message, and each time it increases I. So this is a loop. Why would this be useful? This could be used as a simple loop. You don't even need to use I for anything. You can just ignore it. You can just get rid of it and say this instruction will be repeated 10 times, and then you could put code, you know, do something, something that you want to happen 10 times over, and then you can run it, and as you can see here, it just says this instruction, blah 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 blah, just repeat. So basically it's a simple way of just creating a loop, and you've also got the option of having a variable to you know, use in case you needed to do anything. Like if you wanted to add all the numbers up, you could do here. You could create a integer and call it the answer. Ooh, dramatic. Equals 0, and you could say the answer. How's it spelled? Plus equals I. So it's going to increase it by I. So what's going to happen? I is going to start off at 0, so which means it's just going to add 0. So it's going to start at 0, but then it's going to be 1. It's going to add 1. It's going to add 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 until it gets up, till it does the whole 10 times. So now if we run it, oh no, hang on, done. The answer is now, and then show the answer. So now it's looped 10 times, each time increasing the answer by the amount of times it's looped, run it, and you end up with this, 45. It's just a simple way of doing loops while also having a variable to keep track of how many times you've looped. So it can be used, you know, it has many uses which I'll probably discuss in any future videos. Anyway, that's more or less it.